Yeah, welcome to Python session. Today we are going to discuss data types, remaining data types. Last session we have seen up to lists. We'll see last three methods of lists so that we'll go to the next topic. Okay, so we have seen all these things, operators, arithmetic operators, relational, all these things. Now we are moving to lists today. Okay, so yeah. So we have seen concatenation of two lists, repetition, slicing, and all. The range also we have seen, in and not in also we have seen. And before going to tuple, let's complete this last three methods of lists and then we'll go to tuples. Okay, yeah. So let's go to this PyCharm. Okay, so last three methods are pending: reverse, sort, and index. Okay, let's create a new file now, like demo 27, 26 was the last one. Let's open in Notepad and yeah, we'll see the notes, last session notes. Think just a minute, somebody's joining. Yeah, I'll share the screen, ma. Just a minute. Screen is not visible. One second. Is it visible now? Let me share the notes. See the notes of last session. I think October 1st now. Yeah, here we are. Yeah, pending methods are these three. Okay. Yeah, let's save it as anybody joining, ma. Let's add them. Yeah. So let's save it as 5th October. Okay. Yeah. Now we are continuing these last methods. Okay. Reverse, sort, and index. We'll see all these things. Okay. So let's go to PyCharm now. Let's create a new project, Python session on. Let's go to File, close the project, create new project, Python session on 5th October 2020. Okay. So this session I'm recording, ma. At the end of the session, I'll share you the link so that you can complete session will be recorded. Okay. Yeah. Any doubts, please post your queries in comment section, ma, so that I can go through it and I'll let you know. Okay. Yeah. So now it's 27, demo number 27. Yeah. So let's add a new Python file to this and we'll try to create a list where we are adding some element first and we'll print them normally. Later on, we'll try to reverse them and then sort them in ascending order, then into descending order. Then we'll try to use index method. Okay. Yeah. It's taking some time to load. Yeah. So right click on this project, new Python file. So what I'm saying now, demo 27, okay, list, sort, and index. Okay, all these three we are going to see in one again. So working with sort, reverse, and index methods of list. Okay, so how to do that? Let's create a list first, and we'll try to reverse them, and then we'll try to sort them. Okay, let us list one is equal to our elements, any list variable name can be anything. So now what I'm saying, I'm giving something like 10 comma 5 comma 4 and 11 and something like 6. Okay, like this we have some elements. Let's print as it is first, print list 1. So we'll get elements as it is. Now I want to reverse this list. Reverse means it is not like descending order. It is simply reversing the elements as it is without any sort. Okay. So if I print normally 10, 5, 4, same as it is will be printed. But when I say reverse, 6, 11, 4, 5, 10 will be printed. Nothing but reversing the elements as it is without sorting. That is said to be reverse. Okay. So let's see this now. So what I'm saying is this is list 1 as it is. List 1. Actual list 1 is this. Let's run it as it is. Run. You can see the output now. List 1 is 10, 5, 4, 11, and 6. Now what I'm doing, list 1 dot reverse. That's all. Self means we need not pass any argument actually. Okay. And let's print it after reverse. List 1 after reverse. See now? See the output? After reverse, what is there? 6, 11, 4, 5, and 10. Just simply reversing the complete array as it is without sorting. Okay, it's not sorting actually. Then what is the difference between this and that? Let us sort it and we'll see. Now what I'm saying is I wanted to sort. Sorting list elements. How to sort? We have a ready-made method called sort. Okay, so let us print normally before sort list 1 as it is. Before sort, let's run it. Right click, run demo 27. See now, 6, 11 as it is, of course, because it was already reversed. We got like this 6, 4, 11, 4, 5, and 10. Now what I'm saying, I wanted to sort it. How to sort? List 1 dot sort. That's all. And after sort, now you can see what is happened. So obviously you'll be getting 4, 5, 6, 10, and 11. Let's run it and check it out. See the output now. 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. Okay, so this is said to be sorting elements physically inside the list itself. Now I wanted to print the reverse, I mean sorting in descending order. How to do that? For that we can use something called list1 dot sort again, but this time there is a parameter reverse is equal to true. So now you will be getting 11, 10, 6, 5, and 4. Okay, that is said to be reverse equal to true parameter that we have to pass inside it. Okay, so now let us see list 1 after reverse sort or sort equal to reverse. It's up to you. Sort within brackets, how I passed reverse equal to true. Okay, so now let us see. Right click, run demo 27. See the output now in the bottom. What is there? 11, 10, 6, 5, 4. So physically sorted in descending order. Hope you got it up. So the elements are already sorted. Okay, So that I reversed it. Now descending order. Even if you take any raw array also, it will be doing perfectly. Okay. So that is said to be sorting, and sorting with reverse. And there is something called reverse. Reverse is just physically reversing the array as it is without sorting. But sort will physically sort the elements by default ascending order. Here I'm giving sorting in ascending order if you don't say any parameter. But here what it is doing? Sorting in descending order. Okay, that is the way to do. Is it clear, everybody? So let me run it one more time and show you final output. See what is this? The actual list is this 10, 5, 4, 11. Then I reversed it physically as it is reversed 6, 11, 4, 5, 10. Then before sorting as it is. After sort, so ascending order 4, 5, 6, 10, 11. Then I said sort of reverse equal to true. So what we have right now? The complete reversed array. Descending order. Elements are there 11, 10, 6, 5, 4. In this way, we can use sort and reverse methods in a list. So now we need to talk about something called index method. Okay, let's do that in the same, or we'll go for the next example. It's better to go new Python file. Yeah, index. Okay, we'll do it here only because I gave the file name like this. Now, okay, no problem. So let us take name is equal to, or let us say country is equal to, is equal to. So I'm giving India. Alphabets I'm taking INDIA. Okay. Now I need to print the index of a particular character. For that we use index method. In Java it was index of method, but here it is index method. Yeah. So what to do? Let's write index now to know a particular character's index. So obviously this is zeroth index, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and so on. So now what I'm saying, print index of I. I want the index of I. Okay. So which index of I? Country dot index of I. Now you'll be getting it. Right click, run. See the output in the last 0. Okay. For better understanding, I'm giving like this. Copy paste. We'll keep it in a print statement so that it's more clear to understand. Okay. Country of index of I. So that the output is like this. You'll be getting 0. Is 0 in the next line, or comma you can give it. Okay. Now I wanted to know, suppose what happens. See, we have two i's now. First I is 0, second I is also there 0, 1, 2, 3. But why it is always giving first? Because when you have same letter, it always gives the first index of the element. If you say n means, obviously it will give you what you call 1, 0, 1. Na? You'll get 1 as a result. Now you see the n index of n is 1. Like that you can find the index. Okay. And then if you want to count from here to here, I want to count index means you can also use a parameter like country dot index. See, you can specify starting and ending of the index itself from where to where. Okay. Self means you can say country as it is, comma, where to where. I want to search from 0, 1, 2 to 4. So 2, comma 4. Okay. Like this we can get. Yeah, we need to, yeah, let's see this parameters first. So first object start and stop and integer n. Okay. Yeah. Two to four. Now let's print it and check it out. 3. Correct? 0, 1, 2, 3. So like this, we can find out the index of a particular letter in a string with index method. Is it clear, everybody? So like this, we can use index method to find out the particular characters index, as well as sort method to sort the elements, and reverse for reversing elements. Is it clear, guys? Yeah. So now we are moving to the next type of data structure, that is said to be tuple. Okay. Let's go to PPT first. We'll have a look on it. Yeah. So what is tuple? It's similar to a list. But what is difference between these two? Tuple contains a group of elements which can be of different types, same as a list as well. But the difference is, and separated by commas, but it's enclosed with parentheses. So round brackets will be there for tuple. So whenever you see round brackets in any data structure, that's simply a tuple. That is an easy identification of data storage variables of tuples. Okay, or tuple objects we can say it simply. So always tuple objects will have parentheses, but the square brackets is there for list. This is the thing we need to remember. And whereas list elements can be modified, but it is not possible to modify the elements of tuple. This is the very, very important difference between tuple and a list. They will ask you what is difference between tuple and list. Okay. Yeah. So list elements can be modified, but whereas tuple elements cannot be modified. But they'll ask you a tricky question. Are you sure that the elements of tuple cannot be modified? Then you have to say yes, it is possible. But how, I'll tell you later. First, right now, we need to focus on how to create a tuple, how to add elements to tuple, and how to print them, and what are the operations we are able to do on tuple. Finally, we'll look at how to modify the tuple elements. Okay, we have a separate process actually modifying tuple elements, but by default, tuple is a collection of different type of elements, but it is immutable. Immutable means the elements of tuple cannot be modified. Simply, what do we say? So tuple can be treated as a read-only list. Read-only list means what? We have set of elements in tuple. You can read them, you can print them, you can slice them, but we can't modify them. That is the default behavior of a tuple. In the sense, wherever you have a requirement of storing different type of elements, but I don't want frequent modifications. I don't want modification at all because those should be fixed, then we go for tuples. Okay, like employee ID, name, designation, these are all fixed. No, sir, designation might be changed. So very rarely the changes will be done. So for that we have a separate process of course, there are many ways to modify tuples, but I'll tell you how to modify the tuple later. Let's look at the different ways to create, how to create a tuple and how to add the elements and how to print them. See now, the example one, tuple is equal to TPL. TPL or tuple one, you can give any variable name, is equal to round brackets open now, open close. So what I said, 10 comma minus 20, 20, 15.5, Surya and Prakash. See what is this? Different type of elements I'm storing. So I'm storing positive integers, negative values, as well as floating point values, followed by strings. All are possible in tuples. And I'm printing TPL, so as it is will be printed. TPL of 0, first index nothing but 0, so obviously 10 will be printed. Then TPL of 1 colon 3, from 1 to 3 minus 1, so 1 means 0 is 10 now, so this is 1. So minus 20 and 15.5 both will be printed because of 1 to 3. 1 to 3 means from 1 index to 3 minus 1, that is nothing but 2 elements will be coming. And then TPL of minus 2, negative index will start from the last na, minus 1 is Prakash, minus 2 is Surya. So you'll get output as Surya. And then I wanted to repeat the elements of tuple for many times. So print TPL into 2. So you'll get twice the elements will be printed. So same tuple one more time because of the repetition operator. It's not multiply. When you're trying to do tuple of 0 is equal to 99, in the sense I wanted to modify or I wanted to replace this 10 with 99, then you'll be getting an error. This is called as tuple behavior. So it's immutable in the sense the values of tuple cannot be modified. So this point is very, very important to remember. Let's see how to do this practically. Okay, let's go to PyCharm and create a new project, a new file for this, like demo 28. I'm saying new Python file. So demo 28 underscore tuple demo 1 I said. So how to create a tuple now? Let's see. Creating a tuple, TPL1 or any other name you can give is equal to. So what I'm saying, I'm giving round brackets now. 10 comma 15.5. And if you want to give any negative value, absolutely good. You can give it. And then string I'm giving in single quotes, then I'm giving in double quotes. No issue at all. This is the way to create a tuple. So let's print it. Print TPL1. Let's run it and check it out. Right click, run demo 28. See the output now? What is there? 10 minus 20, 15.5, Surya and Prakash. We got everything as it is. Okay. So now what I'm saying, I wanted to slice. First, let me print 0th element, TPL1 of 0. So obviously you'll get 10 as the output. Let us print as it is. So here what I'm saying, TPL1 of 0 is equal to, we'll get the output like that. Now what I'm saying, I want to print -1. -1 means last -1. Let's see the output now. -1 is Prakash. 0 means 10 will be printed. Okay. Now let's try to slice it like 0 colon 3. 0 colon 3. Let's run it and see. So you'll get 0, 1, 2. 0 means 10 and 1 means -20 and 2 means 15.5. Of course, 3 will not be printed. Same way, you can also specify the starting and you are simply leaving the rest. 3 colon, that's all. From third index to the rest will be printed. 0, 1, 2, 3. Surya and Prakash will come. 3 colon. Same way, I'll say the ending up to where you want to print. I want to print up to 3 only. Beginning, I don't know. Okay. So in that case, you can go for it. Now let's see. See the last 0, 3. So 0, 1, 2. 0 means this 10 minus 20 and you have 15.5 and then 3 colon 3 onwards 3 4 will be Surya and Prakash and colon 3. So from the beginning up to 3 means the -2, I mean up to 2 it will come 0 1 2 15.5 and then you can also reverse the tuple if you wanted to reverse. Okay, print let's paste it as it is first. Let's double colon -1 double colon -1. See this now. See the output. Reversed first Prakash Surya, then 15.5 -20, and then what is that? 10. That is that we're reversing. But if you are trying to update the element of tuple, then you'll get an error. Okay? Yeah. Let's say TPL1 of 0 is equal to 99. Okay? So already in TPL of 0, what is there? 10 is there. But I'm trying to replace it. Let's run it and see. What is the output? TPL of 0 equal to 99. Type error. Tuple object doesn't support item assignment. This is the point we need to remember. But the interview question is, they will ask you how to update tuple element. What is the difference between list and tuple? First question. So what do we say? So both are able to store different type of elements, but the difference is tuple is immutable, so the elements of tuple cannot be modified. But they will ask you, are you sure that elements of tuple cannot be modified? Then you have to say, yes, it is possible. But how to do that? For that, first we have to convert the tuple into list, then do the modification, again reconvert this list into tuple. This is the one process, one way, most widely used way to update the tuple. Let me show you that in the next example. Okay, let's create a new program now, new Python file. What I'm saying, demo 29 underscore tuple update, how to update tuple. Okay, now updating a tuple, how to do that. So for that, what I'm doing, first of all, TPL1 or tuple1 variable name can be anything, boss. TPL1 is equal to I'm giving some elements now, like 10, okay, minus 15.5 or minus 15, something like this I'm giving, or minus 20, like previously, same thing, 15.5, okay, comma, single quote, Surya, and then double quotes, Prakash. Now what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to modify 10 with 19. I want to replace it. For that, what to do? First, let's print what is this TPL1, actual tuple is this before updating. So you'll get values as it is. See the output now. Actual tuple is this, and I want to update it now. How to update? Updating tuple. So create a list first. List one is equal to, I need to convert this TPL into list type by saying list function. List of TPL1. Now what happened here? Converting TPL1 into list type object, and I assign to list one. Now I can update the list one. So how to do this? List one of 0 is equal to 99. So I have updated now. Okay. So now after updating list one, again I need to convert into tuple by using tuple method. How to do that? So what I'm saying is TPL1 is equal to, okay, TPL of, tuple of list one. This is what the way to update. Now let's print TPL1. Print or let's print the same thing. Here is the updated tuple. After update, tuple is this. Okay, let's check it out how it is happening. See the output now. So actual tuple was 10 minus 20, 15.5 and all. After update, what is there? 99 got replaced. Okay, like this we can update. So it's an interview question, ma. They'll ask you what is difference between tuple and list. Of course, we can say, and how to update. So it's very interesting and important question. So first we have to convert this tuple into list using list function typecasting methods. So here I'm writing for better understanding. Converting tuple into list. Then modifying list. Okay, element. Then converting list into tuple again. So this is what we have done successfully. Okay. So any doubts in this, guys? Please ask me if you have any doubts on it, because very important topic to be, they will ask you in interviews definitely. Please let me know any doubts on this. Yeah. Naveen, 3 colon 1 colon minus 1. Is it clear, guys? First, updating tuple is clear. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Okay, fine. That's good. Yeah. 3 colon 1 colon minus 1 means what? From where to where you want to print? Minus 1 to from reverse. Yeah, I'll get back to you. We'll see that. Okay. Let me finish this small topic. Then we continue. Okay. Updating tuple. Just now we have done. Okay. Python tuple is immutable object, so we can't do it, but we can try to do this. T1 is equal to, initially I have 4 elements. I printed as it is. Then I converted yellow color highlighted points. You can observe list of T1. I converted this T1 tuple 1 into list 1 L1, and then I changed it. 25. 2 means 0, 1, 2. 30 I replaced with 25. Then I converted this L1 into T1 just by saying tuple of L1. So after that, you can see this 10, 20, 25, and 40. Okay. Yeah. So now we are moving to range data type. How to use range. Okay. So in sequences, if you go back to the sequences, we have so many types like str type. Okay. And then list tuple. Okay. We have seen all these things. Byte array, and then range also. So let me go back to the previous slides and show you quickly. We'll come back to this. Yeah, these are the sequences we have. So till now we have seen str, bytes, byte array, list, tuple. Now we are moving to range type. So what is range? Range means if you wanted to print range of values between the given minimum maximum bounds, then we go for range actually. Okay. Suppose if you want to print elements in a list or tuple, what to do? So print list means or list one object name or print elements. So automatically all elements will be printed. No boss, I want to print from particular area to particular area. So then we can go for slicing. That is also okay. But apart from slicing and all, we have a separate situation where you need to go in different series of elements. I mean, different way of iterations. Like I wanted to print from 0 to 9 in the sense from the beginning to last, but with two interval. I want to print even elements only, or I want to print odd elements only. Okay, so in that case, or if you wanted to modify the sequence, while you are iterating, you want to jump from one element to three elements, or two, or five. So the interval can be customized with range type. Okay, so by default, when you say range, it always starts from 0 and ends at n minus 1. See the example now? R is equal to range of 10. So 10 means it always starts from 0. So 0 we need not mention. 0 is optional actually. That is why you need not specify. And then 10 means it will go up to 10 minus 1. Nothing but n minus 1. That is 9 here. So R is creating from 0 to 9. Okay, now R is having 0 to 9 values. That is said to be range type. Okay, so mostly we use range with what? With the for loop. So if you want to use range, the best example is for loop, with for loop. Okay, so how to use for loop? There are two ways. For directly, like for each style, for I in list one. For I in list one means we are not at all talking about its index. We are simply printing the elements. That is said to be range without using range. No, boss, I want to specify minimum bound and maximum bound in my program. I want to specify from 0 to 9 I want to go, or 0 to 5, or 0 to 9 I want to go, but I want with a two interval. So all these are all possible with the range type. Let me show you the example so that you'll understand more clearly. See this first example, r equal to range of 10. When I say r equal to range of 10, what is r value now? 0 to 9. How do I know? So you want to print it. Then for I in r, I is our own variable. You can give any other name. In is a keyword. In which sequence? R. Or it can be a list, or it can be a tuple, whatever it is. I said r now. So what is r contains? R is having 0 to 9 numbers. How do I print? Print of I. So first 0 will be there. 0 will come into I. That is getting printed. Then 1 will come, then 2 up to 9. So you are getting 0 to 9 numbers. Got it? Huh? So this is what we need to understand about range. Next one is R1 is equal to range of 30 comma 40 comma 2. So 30 to 40, but the interval is what? 2. So if I don't give any starting point, it always starts from 0. But here I said starting point is 30 and the ending point is 40. And what is the interval I want to give? That is called as, excuse me. So 30 is the starting value, minimum bounds, maximum bounds is 40. Since the interval is 2, it will go up to 40 minus 2. So that is nothing but 38. So the output would be 30, 32, 34, 36, and the last is 38. So you know how to print it? For x in R1. R1 is my variable name. Print x. First 30 starts from 30. And the interval is 2 now, 30 plus 2, 32. Again, it will go to next interval, 34, 36, up to 38. It will never go to the specified top value, maximum bound, it never reach it. Less than that only it will stop. So here 10 I said now it will go up to 9. Here 40 I said now it will go 38 because of the interval is 2. Same way, you can also give 5 interval if you want. So this facility is only possible if you use range. So otherwise what to do? You need to write a for I in list variable name something. It iterates from 0 to 9 or how many elements are there up to that n minus 1 it iterates. But it's not delayed. But if you want to go quicker, faster iterations, better to use range. Okay. Yeah, let's see these examples and how to create a list directly with range. I want to create a list with 0 to 9 numbers. How to do that? Very simple. Data is equal to list of range of 10. Range of 10 means we know that it is creating what? 0 to 9 elements. But I want to keep in a list so that data is equal to list of. List is a function here. Range is also built in, keyword range of 10. So list means list of range of 10. So range of 10 means 0 to 9. That should be converted into list and stored in data. Now what is data? Data is a list which is having 0 to 9 numbers. Very simple. How do I know? Print data so that you'll get like this. After this, you can say type of data. Then you'll get whether it is list or something. You can see that. Okay. Yeah. So let's see practically now. Just a minute. ఏమైంది ఉమ్, వెళ్ళు. Yeah, Niket. In which cases do we use tuple instead of list? In where does this tuple has its over? Okay. Yeah, like wherever you have some, most of the cases, like where you don't have frequent changes in your data. Okay. Like registration number of student, when student is joining in, college, they'll give registration number, name anyhow will not be changed. Registration number is fixed for 4 years, entire 4 years, the value is common. So you cannot change it. Same way, employee ID is a constant. So wherever you have constant values, fixed values together, then only we go for tuple. Got it? Huh? If you don't have, when you are frequently changing elements, it's better to go for list. So list is very much flexible type, but whereas tuple is strongly typed in the sense the values of tuple cannot be modified. But of course, in special cases like this, we can do, but not every time. So this is what the important thing that we need to remember. Now demo 30 underscore range demo 1. Okay, how to make use of range now. So what I'm doing, first let us say R1 is equal to range of 10. Okay, so now let's print R1. Let's check it out. What is R1 is having? 0, comma 10. We don't have values. But I want to print all of them, sir. What to do? Then we can use for I in range. I mean, I in R1 you can see. So you can print here in the same print of I. See the output now? You have all values like this, 0 to 9. But I want to print them in a new line, comma, same line. What to do? And is equal to come. Or you want to print in a new line means you can do like this. This is said to be for loop actually. Okay. So mostly we use for loop with range. Okay, range with for loop. Okay. Yeah, for and range is a good combination, boss. Simple terms. Let's run it and see. Now you'll be getting 0 to 9. Is it clear, guys? Okay. Yeah. So here I didn't specify the maximum bound, I mean minimum bound. So if I don't specify minimum bound, it always starts from 0. 0 to 9 it will go, as I said you earlier. Okay. So now what I'm saying, R2 is equal to range 2 variable, range of, this time I'm saying 30 comma 40 and the interval is 2. Step value. This is said to be step value. Range with step value. Okay, this is range normal without maximum bounds. So range with min, max, and step value. Minimum is what? 30. Maximum value 40. And the what is the range? 2. Now let's print it for I in R2, and then print I now. And as I said I want to print all of them in a single line with commas. I said end equal to comma. Now let's see the output now. Yeah, print a new line. It's better to print a new line here. Between these two, print empty. Now let's run it. You can see this. So initially it was 0 to 9, R1, okay, R2. If you want to differentiate, better to give something like this. R2 is equal to, I'll give a new line, and this is R1 is equal to, so that it's good to see. See the output now? R1 is equal to 0 to 9, R2 is equal to 30 to 38. 40 won't be printed at all. Okay. So in this way, we can work with a range type. Now we are creating a list with range. How to create a list? Data is equal to what I said, list of range of 10, that's all. And then print data. Now here I'm writing, creating a list with range. Okay, let's run it and give a new line also. Here also new line is better. Print list with range function. Okay, give a new line slash n means. Yeah, let's right click and run it. See the output in the last list with range. I think better to give slash n here. Yeah, now it looks good. Yeah, list with range 0 to 9. See, square brackets now, it's a list, simple. And you can also use a for loop if you want to print one by one elements. Okay, so now we have created a list of 10 elements, nothing but 0 to 9, with the list function followed by range. No, boss, I want to print 1 to 10 numbers. Can you tell me the answer how to create a list with 1 to 10 numbers? Anybody? Creating a list with 1 to 10 numbers. It is creating from 0 to 9, but I want 1 to 10 numbers. So please type your answers, guys, in chat so that I can see how many of you understood really. Waiting for your answers. I want to create a list with range type. Yeah, very good. 1 comma 11. So 1 means starting index. 11 means 11 minus 1 up to 10 it will create. Very simple. Okay. Same way you need to try other examples. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Like you want to print even elements in a list 2, 4, 6, 8 up to 20. Same way reverse. Odd elements 19, 1. So these are the tasks you can practice. Okay. Yeah, that's good. So anything is missing? Let me go to the PPT. Yes, ma. Hmm. Ha ha ha. Good, good. Yeah, let me show you now. Yeah, I'll show you right now. Yeah, I'll show you right now. Very good question. Okay. Yeah, how to print remove the last comma in an element. Okay, let me show you. Yeah. Let's take a new program. Actually, this question was asked in AMCAT exams for CTS. Almost all companies they're asking CTS exams. That is the reason I'm going to show you demo 31. It's not demo actually. Task 3 or 4 solution. Okay, 3 I think so. Let it be. So let's take byte array or bytes. Yeah, let's take bytes demo to print elements without last comma. Bytes demo. Okay. Yeah, fine. Last comma. So let's create a bytes type now. Like take a list one is equal to something like 10, 20, 0, okay, 40 and 50. And then what I did, I'm converting this list one into bytes. So x is equal to bytes of list one converted. Then I want to print, how to print? For in I in x, print of x. Okay, so let's run it and check it out. It is printing from yeah, okay, so it prints like this now. Yeah, we have to say x of range is better to use now. Okay, yeah, in this case range is better. I in range of x. Yeah, directly you can use range of len of x. Okay, then x of I. Okay, perfect. Now you'll be getting all values 10, 20, everything. But I want to print comma at the end. Yeah, it's taking a bit time to load. So it will go from 0 to, yeah, last is len minus 1. I want to print with a comma now. Comma end is equal to single quotes comma. Done. We have printed it. Yeah. So we have a comma at the end. But what I want to do, I wanted to skip this comma for last element. So for that, what I'm doing is, let us take n is equal to len of x. And instead of len of x, what I'm replacing now? N here. Let's print normally. See the output. Is it clear, guys? N is equal to len of x. So x bytes array element length is found, and that is stored in n variable. Okay. Now I in range of n means 0 to n minus 1. So it goes up to 4. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got all the 5 elements. Okay. But now I'm keeping a if condition. Actually, if is not yet completed. So let me write if condition so that you can understand. If I equal to n minus 1. Okay. What to do? I want to print this without any comma. Else. So what is meant by else? So that is nothing but other than length minus 1. So other than 50. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 na. Length minus 1. For 50 you need to print space. Remaining elements I want comma. So this is the way to work with it. Let's run it and check it out. Right click, run. See the output now. We have 10, 20, 0, 40, 50, but there is no comma at the end because of this condition. This is what I asked you to try. Is it clear, everybody? Hello? Any doubts in this, ma? So first what I did, I created a list. Then I converted this list into bytes, and x is now bytes type. And len of x, length of x is I calculated and I stored in n variable. So that is nothing but 5. So what I'm saying, I in range of n. So it will go from 0 to 4. So if n equal to, if I equal to n minus 1, or directly you can write if I equal to 4 also, no problem. But that is not dynamic, na? Sometimes I may increase these elements. Okay, I may add 2 more elements. Then this won't work. That is the reason I said n minus 1. Okay, if I value is n minus 1, then I need to print without any comma. The remaining else part means I said with comma. So perfect. So in this way, so it was asked in AMCAT exam. So please try to do this kind of examples, uh, like a logic building questions, so that it's easy for you to crack the interviews of AMCAT, Hacker Rank, and all. Just go through them. so that it's easy for you to do this kind of logics. Is it clear, guys? Any doubts in this program? Yeah, yeah. Let's have a look at our PPT. Anything is pending in a range, we'll see. So the first example is 0 to 9 numbers by default, and then with two interval, and then we have done creating a list with range variable. Okay, done. So now we are moving to sets. Okay, so what is set? If you want to store elements in a unique manner, then we go for sets. So all the elements of sets will be unique. Though you are giving duplicate elements, it eliminates the duplicate values and it takes only one copy of the elements. Okay, that is said to be set. Okay, and set is mutable. You can modify the elements. And remember, the one thing that we need to focus on set is wherever you have or you want to store duplicate, I mean unique values, then set will be used. First one is unique values. Second one is what? The elements of set will not be same order where you have inserted. So I'm giving 10, 20, 30, 40, but when you print, you may get in reverse. Different, shuffled order. Okay. So let's go to sets now. So what is a set? It's an unordered collection of elements, much like a set in the mathematics. So the order of elements is not maintained in the sets. That is what I told you just now. Okay. And it means that the elements may not appear in the same order as they are entered into the set. Okay. And set doesn't accept duplicate elements. So this is very, very important thing. So how does set is different from list or tuple like that they'll ask you? Then you have to say set always accepts unique elements. If you are giving manually or wantedly duplicate elements, it takes only unique elements. First thing. Second one, there are two subtypes in sets that is said to be set data type, normal one, and second one is frozen set. Okay, set is mutable, you can modify the elements, but whereas frozen set, the name it suggests cannot be modified. It is freezed, so we can't modify. Okay, so let's get started with set now. So what is the set example? S is equal to curly braces. So till now what we have seen, in the beginning we started with list with the square brackets. So when you see the square brackets, you need to keep in your mind that it's a list where you can store different type of elements can be modified. Coming to the second category, we have seen that is said to be tuple, where we have parentheses, round brackets. So now we are moving to sets. Set is always, mathematics also we know that the syntax, curly braces. That is said to be set, in which we have, the type of elements I'm storing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Print of S, you can modify, these. See what is there here? 10, 20, 30, again 20. Why I gave 22 times? Because I wanted to show you the unique feature of set. So it prints like this. It may display, it will not display exactly in which order you have entered. See, it may display 50, 20, 10, 30. But remember, you will get all the elements, but unique elements. See, 20 will be only once it will come. It will not come twice. See the next example. Ch is equal to set of hello. So this is, I'm creating set with function now. Previously I've created with the curly braces. Next example I'm using a function. Typecasting. So hello is a string actually, but I'm using set function to convert this hello into set, and that result I assign to ch now. Now ch is a set type variable. Let's print it now. So it may display HELO. Why it is not printing L twice? Because L is duplicated. Twice it is coming, but as per the behavior of set, it will print only unique elements. So you'll get HELO only. Let's go to PyCharm and check it out how it is working. So let's create demo 31, right click new, Python file, demo 31, set demo 1. Okay, creating a set variable. Okay, so what I said, set 1 is equal to, or s1 is equal to, you can give anything, curly braces. I said 10, 20, 30, again 20, 40, or 50, anything. Here 20 repeated twice, print of set 1. See the output now? The output is 40, 10, 20, 30. Okay, so 20 is only displayed one. And next one, I said now creating set variable with set function. So ch1 is equal to set of double quotes hello. Okay. Now print ch1. Now see the output of this. You'll have HELO or HOLE, whatever it is. Okay. The order may vary. When you're running for this first time, you may get like this. Second time, it may be shuffled. You know what is there? ELOH. 40, 10, 20, 30. Of course, it was the same order as earlier, but now this is changed. So like this, you can create a set wherever you have unique values. Suppose if you want to store unique values in C language or yeah, Java also. Java we have collections actually. We have where it will store unique values. We have different collection framework. But in C language, we need to write code manually to store unique values. But here, for everything, we have a ready-made data structure. That is why Python is rich in terms of data structures. Built-in data structures are very well equipped. That is the reason every data scientist or so all these machine learning people will go for built-in data structures of Python, which makes your life easy and time-saving code. That is how it's very easy for us. For everything we have, for every purpose we have a ready-made data structure. Okay. Yeah, this is what you need to remember in terms of sets compared with other thing. And let's try to modify if you want to modify. We have some built-in methods available. Let's go to the PPT. So, update method and remove methods. So here LST, I said LST is equal LST or whatever name you want, you can give it, boss. It's your wish. One ST or one generally we never start identify with digit. That is why LST is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a list. Why I said LST? Because it's a list. S is equal to set of LST. I converted this LST typecasting with the set function. Done. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Print S. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Order may vary. Of course, we know that. Now S dot update of 50 comma 60. So what is happening now? So in update function, we have to use square brackets because it's kind of a list implicitly. We have to pass that as a syntax we have to follow. So then what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 50, 60. Of course, order might be different. 50 you may get in the middle and 60 may be getting in the last, or 50, 60 will come in the first. Can be anything. But what we have done here, update is possible. For updating a set, we have a built-in method that you can make use of. Yes dot remove of 50. Where it is available, I don't know, but still I can remove the 50 from here by using remove method. So updating and removing are built-in functions available with the set that you can make use of. So this is also important point we need to remember. So let's create a list now. Same example we'll see. And we'll try to update and then we'll try to remove as well. Okay. Yeah. Let's create a list now. Go to next examples, 32 Python file. We'll stop with this example. Demo 32 underscore set demo 2. So updating and removing elements from set. Okay. So list 1 is equal to, or LST is equal to, it can be anything, 10, 20, 30, or you can add one more if you want to add 20 one more time, no issue. But 10, 20, 30 will be only stored. Okay. Now set 1 is equal to set of list 1. Okay. Let's print the set 1 now. Set 1 is equal to comma set 1. So you'll be getting unique values from the set 1, 10, 20, 30. Now what I'm trying to do, trying to updating set 1 or set variable. So how to update? Set 1 dot update of what you want to update with. I want to update with 40 and 50. 40 comma 50, which are not there in the list. Or if you have any existing, again if you give 30, 40, 50 also, it will take only 40, 50. Okay. So that you need to try and modify ma. When you are practicing, you do it. Okay. So now after update, okay, comma set 1, or you can print set 1 in a new line. Print set Now let's check it out. See the output. Initially 10, 20, 30, but now 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 40 is added at the beginning, 50 in the middle. Can be order may vary. Okay. Now let's try to remove it. Let's take the same. Now I need to remove. So removing 50. Set one dot remove of 50. After remove. See the output now? See what is there? 50 got removed. Irrespective of the index. We need not bother about where it is located, but we have 10, 20, 30, 40. Unique values are there in my set. So in this way, we can work with sets for updating as well as removing. Okay. Is it clear, guys? So I'll share you this video to your mail IDs. Yeah. Any doubts in this, ma? Null values. Generally, yeah, clear, na? Okay, fine. That's good. Null values we never try to store, ma. None is nothing but null value, na? Yeah, none is null value. Generally, none is used when we are not returning a value from a function, and if you are not specifying any return type. Suppose if I don't want to pass anything, by default I want to store none, means we go for none. Okay. Yeah. If you're trying to store, we'll show you error because none is not supported, I think so. Let us try to give. Yeah, added. Supporting, none is supporting. You can add like this if you want to add. Okay. Check for this case when you are giving NY small means it raises, syntax error actually. Okay. Yeah. N capital letter means okay. It's allowing adding none value as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, here also same thing. No, no, no. Again, duplication, na. Set is nothing but unique values. Again, if you give none means again it will be treated as duplicate value. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Shall we stop session for today? So yeah, I'll share you this video, and the guys who wanted to take a screenshot of this now you can take now itself in your mobile. Let me show you from the beginning, or yeah, 27. Finished up? Scroll down now. Yeah, last index method. Let's go to next example, tuple demo one. So here it's an error. Error here. Okay. So creating and slicing. Okay, creating a tuple and how to slice it. Updating tuple. This is important thing that you never forget. Okay, please take a screenshot of this, how to update tuple. Of course, there are other ways also to update tuple. This is the most easiest and most widely used model. Copy done. So why I'm asking you to take screenshots because you can type it. You will type and do it practically. So the same thing I've done for previous advanced Java batch. So when I give complete nodes a text file, people are not typing. They are copy paste and they are leaving it, running it. Okay. Yeah, it may be difficult to, initially, but try to do it practically, Take the screenshot, type it in your system, run it. Of course, I'll share you the video link. Go through the video and do it. one by one, step by step. So it will be helpful to you to understand and remember all the concepts. Okay. Range demo. Yeah. Let me scroll down. Yeah. Next set demos, small examples only. First demo set. Creating set normally, set with the set function, both. Finally, modifying set, updating set, and removing elements from set. Okay. Updating spelling mistake. Yeah. Thank you so much, Ma. So tomorrow we'll continue. So 7 to 8, the time class time will be. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow we'll continue.